Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the SC Experience, aka your boy Eric, man, and we're back with another live. You feel me? Mondays Mailbag. We're gonna talk about the game. I'm a little bit more calm now, I guess, based on yesterday. Yesterday you got the Rob reaction. Now you're gonna get more of a calm, uh, more realistic type of reaction. Not saying some of the things I said yesterday was facts, but now I'm gonna bring more facts to the table. I did end up getting the film, and I did end up going over it and watching it. It kind of made me mad because it was the little things that made us lose, right? Again, another week of little things making us lose. We beat ourselves once again. I believe that we've been better than the last three teams we played, in my opinion. But we beat ourselves at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, they beat us, and we gave each team their first win, and now we're the worst team in football as far as standings wise. We're the only team that is 0-3 right now, and it's sad to say that, right? Um, but shout out to you guys, man. Blessings to everyone, man. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Hopefully, everybody got their week started good. Remember, tough times never last, but tough people do, and we are awesome, tough people, man. I appreciate you guys. But I'm gonna let some people come on in while I wait on giving my full assessment. But I'm gonna shout out everybody that's already here. Robert Pena, was good to see you, brother. Dominic Fives in the building as well. Black Trunks podcast is in the building. What's good, Black Trunks? Good to see you, brother. Like the video for the algorithm. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, brother. You already know. Hit that like button and subscribe. You already know what it is. Shout out to three-time garbage out. Shout out to you, brother. Hope all is well. My brother Pyro's in the building as well. What's good, Pyro? What's good, Ern? Good to see Westside Media in the building as well. What's good, brother? Salute to Pyro. Salute to you, brother. And salute to Snoops Hernandez. What's good, Snoops? Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Shout out to Sean Johnson as well, man. Eric, how are you doing? Salute. Let's get to talking this Raiders football. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to my brother Thor as well. What's good, Thor? Good to see you, brother. You are what your record is. We are worst team in the league after 3 weeks. Yep. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. Shout out to Bugsy Raider. What's good, Bugsy? Good to see you, brother. And shout out to Jaw Raider as well. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but so far we got some people in here, man. Hopefully we could get more people to come on in as time progresses. I know YouTube be a little bit weird with the notifications. Hopefully it gets sent out, right? Um, but let's get straight into it, right? Let's start off with the last few years, right? And the reason I want to bring this up because it's something very, 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 very key to this, right? There's been 2 decades of not so good, right? Not so good seasons, right? Everywhere from the Lane Kiffins to the Art Shell coming back to everything with Tom Cable, and the list goes on and on. Everyone from Jason Campbell to uh Terrell Pryor to what Jamarcus Russell to Carson Palmer. All these different things in history, right? And at the end of the day, it sucks that we're in this position right now, right? Um, we went through so many coaches in the last decade or two, like I explained. All those 4-12 seasons where we went 0-10, all those 2-14 seasons, 3-13. The list goes on with all these under 500 records, right? And last year we end up with Basaccia, of course, because Gruden was out of there. We of course end up making the playoffs, and it looks so good, right? At the end of the day, it looks so good. And then this year we're expecting, and I think this is why we had such high hopes, right? You get a number one receiver that a lot of, regardless of what side you're on, right? On the Derek Carr situation, I've been hearing Kardashians again, Kardashians, whatever. At this point, man, on my channel and me personally, how I'm gonna say it, I don't care about the nickname no more, Kardashians or Kardashians. I think we're all Raider fans at the end of the day, right? We all have our different opinions on Carr and all that, man. I don't look at you different if you have a different opinion on me. But like I said in the beginning of the season, Derek Carr is no excuses this year, right? We get a number one receiver that we've been asking for millions of time, and that's all I wanted, right? He got that, right? We got our offensive line. We get an offensive lineman coach that has been proven in the past. This year I haven't seen too much from him, but what I've seen, especially through the 22 film that I got today, I seen that the offensive line has done better. I am gonna call out two people on the offensive line, but I'm gonna keep talking about Carr, right, real quick, because I want to get the Carr situation out of the line, and I don't want to continue this shit, right? I've been seeing it all over Twitter, Instagram, comment sections, people calling each other stupid and stuff like that. At this point, man, I get it. We want to win, but calling each other out, saying shit like that, threatening each other, threatening this and that, it's not okay at the end of the day, right? I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. Some people want Carr out, and some people don't, and that's just how it is. And it's going to continue to go down this path if we don't win. You heard the term "winning solves everything," right? And that's just what it is, right? And we haven't won shit this season, and you can see why a lot of people are going haywire and already talking about next year and what we do going forward. But at the end of the day, we're getting better each game. And like I said, I took 24 hours to watch the 22 film and relax a little. Yesterday you see my raw reaction. Now you're giving a full. I'm giving you a full perspective with you, right? Um, the offensive line has been getting better since week one, right? Week two, it was looking a little sloppy. Week one, week two, same thing with Carr. Carr wasn't getting no mobile. He wasn't being mobile. He wasn't getting out of the pocket. But slowly each week, you're seeing that more often. Especially this game, right? He was running for first downs, getting out of the pocket. Even though he underthrew Keelan Cole, he got out of the pocket. He's starting to come into his own again. Um, you see stuff starting to progress as far as the offense goes. Yes, we were lost by a possession again, but at the end of the day, technically, we went from losing a possession by 5 to 3, and now to 2 points, right? Um, at the end of the day, it's getting better, and I think we all need to realize that. And I think we're just tired of losing, like I explained earlier, right? Like I explained earlier, and like Frank White said here, we're getting better every game. SC, we haven't lost a game by more than a TD. I guarantee we make the playoffs. And I will never bring you guys a wild emotion to take again. And I think that's why we do it right, Dirty. I think this is why I do it right. You run your show differently than how I was. With me, you're gonna get my raw reaction after the game, and you're gonna get my more in depth reaction the day after. And that's just how it's gonna go on my channel, right? Everybody got their way of handling their channels, and everybody's opinion is valid in my reason. There's some dumb takes out there, and let's be honest, we've seen them like tank and tank and tank. Nobody's coming in here to tank, man. At the end of the day, everybody's here to win the Super Bowl. And the whole goal for each team is to get to the Lombardi. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, there's one winner at the end of the season. It don't matter if a team went 12-5 and made it to the Lombardi and lost. That means you came in second place. If you ain't first, you're the worst, right? So at the end of the day, and I'm already looking at it in the thing, Dominic 5, you're one of my loyal supporters, brother. But no need to call each other delusion. And I think, us losing is really causing us to go against each other. And I think this is the best time for us to come together, right? I think in times like this, the fans have each other, because the what they're presenting on the field is not what they're presenting to us, and it's good for us, right? If we have each other and we have each other's back, that's all that matters. We preach so much about family, and I feel like us losing has separated that in realistically form. At the end of the day, I rep one thing, and that's the shield right here, man. And there's never going to be a question, no matter if you were a fan for a decade, a fan for a couple years, a fan since '86, a fan since '83, a fan since '70s, a fan since the '60s, or a fan since 2010. And no matter what you've been a fan of, you're a fan and you're part of the family, right? And I feel like I said, so many 4-12 seasons, 3-14, so many seasons of quarterback after quarterback, Jamarcus Russell, Terrell Pryor, Carson Palmer, even bringing Culpepper for 1 year, right? You guys remember that? And I think '07. And then, all the different coaches, right? Lane Kiffin, stuff like that, right? Lane Kiffin and um, Art Shell with that 1 year, right? And then going on with everybody else we know, Tom Cable, John Gruden, Basaccia last season, and all these different things, right? Um, I think that we're just so done with it, right? We're done with this bullshit. Oakland, LA, and even Vegas now. Us fans, as a Raider fan base, deserve a lot more, right? Deserve a lot more than what they're presenting on the field. And I hope they hear us, right? Because at the end of the day. we are getting better week in and week out, right? Believe it or not, we're 0-3 and there's nothing good to take out of it because we're 0-3. At the end of the day, what matters is what's on that final record, right? We're the worst team in football right now, 0-3. And yes, on paper, we're not the worst team in football, but standings wise and where our record is right now, we're 0-3 and we're the only team 0-3, right? This team is leaderless, right? We need people to step up, and I'm glad that Mark Davis, right? Um, I'm glad that Mark Davis came out and put him in the meeting room. And whatever was said, I hope Mark Davis lit a fire under Josh McDaniels that told him, hey, if you don't get the job done by the bye week, you're gone. And I hope that lights a fire under this whole team in general, right? Devontae Adams looks the most sad I've seen him in a while as far as when it comes to the field and stuff like that, right? And at the end of the day, Derek Carr is always going to be the scapegoat because at the end of the day, the record and wins and losses always gets pinned on two people, and that's the head coach, and that's the quarterback, and that's just how it is, right? That's just how the new age of football is like that, and we gotta honestly just get that through our heads, right? And I think that's why so many people blame Derek Carr when times go rough, right? Because he's been here for probably actually the most amount of time out of any quarterback in the last 2 decades, right? Jamarcus Russell didn't last too long. Carson Palmer didn't last too long. Even Culpepper for a year didn't last too long, and stuff like that, right? It goes on and on and on, right? So at the end of the day, I could see why our frustrations are there, right? And I'm not here to spread positive vibes as far as the the team goes because it's hard to really defend the team when they're 0-3. But the thing is, we got a long season ahead of us, right? We still got about more than 15 games over there. 17, I believe, in total, and then we're only through week 3, right? Um, what I've seen on tape is that the team is getting better, believe it or not. As much as it we're 0-3 and it's fucking sucks, bro. Cause I'm tired of losing, bro. I don't know about y'all, but we're here and this is where the expectations come in, right? Us as a fan base expected more because we're coming out of a playoff season. You're bringing in winning coordinators. You're bringing in a staff that is so proven and there's respective things, right? Everywhere from Josh McDaniels' play calling has been proven. He's got 6 Lombardis under his everywhere from Simmons and Antonio Pierce and everybody else on this coaching staff. In general, they're all proven. Carmen Brasillo has proven commodity with the offensive line. And at the end of the day, we got so many proven things and we had so much high expectations, right? We brought in Chandler Jones thinking that it was going to impact, right? He is technically doing better than Yannick, but at the same time, I'm not going to settle for mediocre play from Chandler Jones. Other players too. People are stepping up, and I gotta give some respect when respect is given. Amik Robertson, shout out to Amik, at least doing something enough, right? We're missing Rock Yassin. He got injured, right? Nate Hobbs got injured for a concussion as well. And then also, in general, there's so many um players that are starting to step up, in significant times because of all the injuries, right? Denzel Perriman, you seen. If we had him yesterday, I think it would have been a lot better on that defensive side of the ball in the first half. We did shut them out in the second half, which is amazing, but our offense couldn't succeed in the red zone. A lot of costly penalties from the offensive line. And like I said, the offensive line played at least decently enough for us to win and better than the last 2 weeks. But at the end of the day, Alex Bars didn't look too well, and Illuminor didn't look too well when looking at the film, right? Um, but at the end of the day, they did make a lot of costly penalties. A lot of the penalties were in significant moments of the game, and that's where the discipline comes into the play. We were not even penalized in the preseason, and now we come into the regular season getting penalized on pretty much each one, right? Um, then at the end of the day, like I said, Carr, this is the last thing I'll say about Carr. Carr got to step up regardless of it is. This is his this has to be his team. He's got to take this team underneath him, man, and he's got to step up as a leader. There's other people with C's on their chest that need to step up as well, but we all know that the quarterback is the number one when it comes to leadership, right? So hopefully Carr could come into this element, which he's starting to get that mobility back. He's starting to get those wheels back, and he's starting to do stuff better, right? He's still underthrowing, but at the same time, he's starting to clean up little things, little things, little things. He needs to get on the same page as his receivers because there was that one thing in the red zone where Devontae Adams and both Darren Waller and Devontae Adams both ran the same route. That means they didn't fully get the route tree and fully get the play down in their head. That can't happen, right? Even though Waller did have it in his hands, and I'm gonna talk about Waller now. Waller did have key drops, right? There was there was a drop there, right? There was a drop there that could have been a touchdown. You know, we could have had 7 points. There was another one in the red zone, like I just talked about in the end zone, that should have been caught. The one where he lined up, yes, Derek Carr put Darren Waller in a bad position for that, but uh, the name of the game is that you need to get once it's in your hands, you have it's a catchable ball, and it was a catchable ball, right? It was a catchable ball, and he dropped it. He dropped it, okay? That was another time we could have scored, right? And then the interception, right? That was the interception as well. That one wasn't on DC in my opinion. But at the end of the day, everybody got their opinion. People could say that he set him up, like I said, he did. But at the same time, he had it in his hands. He caught that ball earlier, right? When he got clocked, right? At the end of the day, he still got clocked even when he didn't catch it. So at the same time, either way it goes, um, that's what it is, right? At the end of the day, every AFC West team lost except for the Broncos. If you guys watched that Broncos game yesterday, it got crazy. The Niners choked it, but they did win by single digits, right? At the end of the day, this AFC West, the division that we thought was going to be the toughest, looks like the worst in the NFL right now, due to standings, not due to player personnel stuff like that. Um, stuff like that, right? I will argue. I know Thor. And let me give a shout out to everybody. Shout out to North Cal Raider Jesse as well, man. What's good, brother? Frank White was good. 3 time was good, man. Raider Bob, good to see you, brother. Van City is good to see you. Raider Bob's in the building. Was good, man. Courtney Garrett is in the building. We need to play the people that want to win and stick to us, working for us. Going away from what's working is what's killing us. Exactly. Shout out to Dirty Raiders. Shout out to Raiders Till Death, man. I was the biggest car supporter until this year. I'm just tired of losing 20 years of this shit is ridiculous. And that's what I talked about a little bit earlier, right? Like I said, the Dennis Allen, the Lane Kiffins, the John Grudens, the list goes on and on, right? Bringing in Art Shell that one year, and then I keep repeating this because this is our history in the last 2 decades, and we're tired of losing, right? 4-12, bro, like 4-12, right? 3 and 13. Like there's so many records of under 500 we had in the last 2 decades, and some of we became accustomed to it, and I think that's why you see a lot of frustration with us because we're finally not letting this shit be numb. We're finally letting our emotions out and letting us be like, hey, organization, we're a loyal fan base, we're the Raider Nation. We've been through hell and back especially in the last 2 decades. We haven't been in the Super Bowl since 2002. We lost that Super Bowl, a lot of pick sixes with Rich Gannon. And then even before that, it's been a while since we even won the Super Bowl. We're just tired of losing and losing and losing. And that's why we're going through a frenzy in 0-3 right now. And I think I've been a little bit pissed too. But like I said, I took 24 hours to stay calm because the worst I can do is cuss out people and cuss out this and cuss out that, but it's not really gonna do anything because that's all we've done, right? That's all we've done, in the last few years, right? Um, and you're exactly right, Dominic. Anything is possible. As of right now, I don't think we'll go 0-17. I think that is not a good take in my opinion. But like I said, I'm not here. I'm not happy with what we're presenting on the field. We're so much better than this, right? We are way better than this shit. We know it, and that's why we're more pissed now because we have all the talent possible right now on this team, and we know this team could be better, but they're not producing the on the field, right? And that's what sucks the most, right? That's what sucks the most. The fact that we're not producing and we know for 100% that we're better than this shit. That we're better than this shit. So, in all honesty, uh, now I'm gonna go on the defensive side because I talked about Darren Waller, I talked about the offensive line, I talked about Carr, I talked about Matt Collins. Shout out to Matt Collins. That's the one more offensive player that I want to talk about, right? Shout out to Mac fucking Hollins, man. I think he solidified his spot in that second row. Bro was amazing, 158 yards, a touchdown, and played phenomenal. And a lot of the throws that Derek Carr made, I think Matt Collins made the most of it. And Matt Collins, you're a baller, man. I know coming into this year, I said that yeah, we could expect a lot from you because a lot of Philly fans were telling me that they were sad that you got let go. But also, like I said, like I said before, um, I did think Matt Collins didn't do enough in preseason, and he made me eat my words in this game and the last game. So, and that's what I want, right? I'm taking accountability for me being wrong. Us YouTubers could be wrong too. Some of us take accountability and some of us don't, and I'm one of those guys. And it's no shot to anybody. Everybody has their way of handling their stuff, but I got my way of handling my stuff. Maybe I'm not the biggest of Raider YouTubers out here, but I am somebody that keeps it real, and when I'm wrong, I'm dead ass gonna tell you when I'm wrong, right? And I was wrong about Matt Collins. Like I said in preseason, I didn't think I didn't think he was good enough for us to make the roster. I think Keelan Cole was better, but what I've seen so far is that Matt Collins has produced in the regular season, and Keelan Cole has not. And Keelan Cole did have that key drop in the end zone as well. So I was wrong in that way, right? What I was right about is that this team needed time to gel. And that's what I've been right about, right? And it sucks that they even need time to gel. They've had 5 months. I know it's a terabyte, but if you're a true head coach, you could simplify the playbook, right? At the end of the day, right? You could simplify the playbook. The best head coaches in the league simplify their playbook at season one in order for them to start getting accustomed to half of it, right? Not just throwing everything out there already, right? And you see it with the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins is a team that going into the season, I said that Tua, when we all talked about football in general and talked about record predictions, right, in the whole league, I said that the Miami Dolphins were the real deal. They did everything they can to build around Tua, and if they don't succeed, it's on Tua. And look at what Tua has been doing, right? Tua wasn't the flashiest of quarterbacks last year. Everybody said that he was garbage, and now out of a sudden, everybody's praising him. I've been doing this before they even the regular season, but they have a new coach. They have Mike McDaniels. He was never a head coach, but he was a offensive coordinator for the 40 Winers, right? The 49ers at the end of the day. I call them 40 Winers, but I don't give a shit, right? For the 40 Winers. And now he's going to Miami and they're 3-0 and they just beat the Bills, right? A team that we think is Super Bowl contenders, right? So anything is possible. And like I said, the teams that are undefeated right now, you got the Giants, right? And they're playing right now. And the Cowboys are winning 6-3 right now. 6-3. But if the Giants win, they'll be undefeated. The Eagles will be undefeated, and that anything could switch over. And that's why I see a lot of people throwing the white flag, already talking about next year's draft. Don't do that, man. I know it's hard to get optimism right now, and it's hard for me to even express it as well. But at the end of the day, there's still a long season ahead of us, right? Last year, we had half a percentage to even make the playoffs the way Rugg situation and Gruden happened. And what the fuck did we do? Please explain to me. We had a interim coach at special teams, right? It looked like we were depleting last year, right? We got smacked by the Chiefs. We got smacked by every team. The Chicago Bears beat us, and everybody was beating us. The win was against us, and we end up making the playoffs. We're 0-3, and it's horrible that we're 0-3, and we should not be 0-3. And every single player on this team is taking for account. I'm not giving no one a pass. And like I said, I've been hearing a lot of things about, um, you know, you're this and that. At the end of the day, like I said, we're Raider Nation. At the end of the day, we all represent the shield and we want to win. What's the number one thing we always hear and we've heard since decades upon decades? And both older generation and the new generation could both say it. Just win, baby, right? And we're not winning, and that's why we're frustrated. And I feel like heading into the donkeys, and I will have my preview. I think at this point, I'm taking it week by week, and things got to change in order for us to really turn this whole season around. The bye week hasn't even hit, but if we go into the bye week 1-4 and 0-5, I'm gonna question it even more than what I'm already am questioning it, right? But I do believe we could go 2-3, and you may say, we're not going to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs just lost to the Colts. The Chiefs just lost to Gus Bradley, right? At the end of the day, we're paying too much attention to just car, when we should look at the bigger picture moving forward as far as week by week. We lost last week. All right, fuck that. I always am the type of person to say that tough times never last, but tough people do. And if there's one thing we know is that Raider Nation is tough. I know Mark Davis is somebody that has been getting a lot of pass, but him bringing Josh McDaniels into the media room yesterday showed me that he wants to win. He's trying to build a winning culture. It's not getting progress in the field, and that's why now he's making hands on with Josh McDaniels. He's getting hands on with the team, and that's what I want to see, right? And at the end of the day, we're thinking about the NFL draft, and we're thinking about this and that, but that's taking us away from what is to progress, what's going on, right? Um, exactly, Circus. I've been hearing that a lot, man. And sometimes, like I said, man, I don't want nobody to take things serious from other people in the chat. Some people are trolling, some people are trolling on Twitter, and some people be sarcastic, like Circus Raider said. Look, he just said that somebody could read that and be like, Circus, what the fuck is that? But in reality, like, look at nobody read that last part, not realize that this is a joke. And he brings up a perfect thing because that's what we're doing now. At this point, we're just laughing at our team because of what they're displaying. And a lot of people take it serious to the point where I'm starting to see a lot of people go at it. Some people I love. Um, I was like, this clown, great jokes. Yeah, see, like some of us don't take the time to read and read in between the lines and look at the sarcastic things about what people say, right? Um, I think that there's a lot of I guess positives going forward, but there's a lot of negative as well. Now let's go on the defensive side of the ball, right? People said we would be 2-0 with Stidham. Like, you serious, bro? You guys, a lot of people like to bring up the fact that Derek Carr is a one-read quarterback. You know what Stidham is? He's two times worse than that. So Stidham ain't gonna do shit, bro. But shout out to Ozzy Raider as well, man. But like I said, it's getting hard to defend Carr, and that's I already said I'm gonna be done talking about Carr, which that's what it is. But like I said, I'm a Raider fan at the end of the day. I want to win, and I feel like this team is better than what they produced on the field. Now let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. The interior defensive line is hardly getting under pressure. The Tennessee Titans were without half of their offensive line. They had a rookie right tackle, and Chandler Jones couldn't do it. And a lot of people say Chandler Jones was containing Kyler Murray, and Chandler Jones, his role is to contain. Yeah, he's containing a bag of fucking 17 million and 51 million dollars. That's what he's containing. That's what he's containing. Let's be honest, bro. Right? That's what he's containing. At the end of the day, he's containing money. He ain't containing nothing in that fucking edge, bro. Okay, that's just what it is. That's what I'm seeing on film, and I'll prove it with film. If people want me to bring it up, hit me up behind DMs. I'll be willing to give you screen records of the film because I'm not gonna hear it. I'm not gonna be here and bullshit you. Now the secondary has been playing at least up to par, right? They did a second half adjustment. They end up partying in the strip. Let's be honest. Shout out to Sebastian Gonzalez and stuff like that. Yup, there is no defending Carr, bro. It really is beating a dead horse, and that's what we're doing, right? Right. That's what we're doing. We're just beating a dead horse, right? With Carr. And at the end of the day, it's not that I'm defending Carr. It's not none of that. And like I keep saying, I'm not a Kardashian. I'm not a Kardashian. I'm a Raider fan. Fuck the nicknames at this point, right? Fuck the nicknames, bro. Kardashians. This at the end of the day, we're all Raider fans, and we want to just win, baby. We're the commitment to excellence, and there's no excellence happening on the field right now, and we demand more, and that's all it is. And that's why I understand everybody's frustrations and the way they're emotional. And I would never say that somebody's such a Sometimes when I'm mad, right, and after post games, sometimes you say things that you don't like because it's like you're so mad, right? You're so enraged, but at the end of the day, what is calling each other stupid and stuff like that gonna do? Oh, okay, cool. You called that guy stupid, and you called that guy dumb, and you called that guy this and that, and you threaten that and that, and homie this and homie that. What is that really doing? Is that really helping the team or making shit worse for your mental? Our mental, most of us hang our well being each day, especially on Sundays, to the Raiders. I'm that type of guy. I don't know about you guys, but I'm such a diehard, and maybe you guys could call me crazy. Maybe some of you guys are exactly like that. That if the Raiders win the rest of the day, I'm mad as shit. Like they control my mood, and I let them do that. And it's some bullshit, but it is what it is. That's how diehard fan I am. And some people might say, Eric, you didn't see the good old days, right? You didn't see Plunkett. You didn't see Bolitnikov. You didn't see the Los Angeles Raiders win a Super Bowl. You didn't see Oakland win too, right? You didn't see that and that. You didn't get to see Kenny Stabler uh, score touchdowns and do what he did live. You didn't do this and that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't disclude me. That doesn't push away the fact that I'm a Raider fan at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, we're all here to win. And like I said, Josh McDaniels needs to understand that. We talked about in the beginning of the offseason, them talking about the press conferences and him saying that he's learned from the Denver Broncos and he's learned this and learned that, right? And that he talked to Mark Davis, and Mark Davis gave him the rundown of how things are here, how just went baby. And like I said, Mark Davis is becoming more hands-on than what he was before. He's trying to build a winning culture. And in order to do that, he got to be hands on with this team and a lot of fire under their ass. And I hope that meeting with Josh McDaniels really helped that out. And I hope Josh McDaniels knows that we're not here we're not here to we're not here to play games. This is not a fucking year where we fuck around and just practice and just act like the whole season's a preseason. At the end of the day, I could guarantee you, I wasn't there behind the scenes, but just based on press conferences and based on body language and based on how they came in, you could tell that Mark Davis told these guys, hey, just win baby is about just win baby. It's about what my dad, my father has built. It's about what the silver and black represents. We want to come back to a winning culture. We are trying to win. We're not trying to backtrack. Last year, and I never said we were going to be a Super Bowl team this year. If you go back on all my lives, I always said this in the beginning of the season. I said on paper and the way we are established, we should do better than last year. Reason being, we made the playoffs last year, and if this year we do worse, we're backtracking, and we're not here to backtrack. And I'm pretty sure that's what Mark Davis told Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels, we're not here to backtrack. This ain't the Denver Broncos where you're starting slate and you're starting good, and you get to draft your quarterback and trade your quarterback and do this and that, and you get to do whatever you want to try to turn this thing around, and you get to rebuild, right? No, you're going into a team that already made the playoffs, that's shown that could do it, that you end up trading for a number one receiver. You end up doing this and that to improve your team, right? We're here to win. And that's why you see fire under Josh McDaniels' ass. And some may say he's under the hot seat too quick. And like you see on my title, I said Monday's mailbag, I said Josh McDaniels hot seat, right? The reason I put that is because he is. And some people may say it's too soon for him to be on the hot seat. It's not too soon because Josh McDaniels knows heading into this, he's not going to an ordinary team. He's going to a playoff team that added talent and coaching staff that is talented to push it forward, not backwards. And that's what he came into, and he knows that. And that's why you could see the way he talked in the press conference and the way that they had a meeting, that is what is true. Right? Like I said, I went off on the team yesterday, and today I'm going off again, but in a more civil way, in order for you guys to hopefully like my opinion or go against it. And regardless, I'm not going to call you stupid or anything if you go against my opinion, but I want to hear your reasons for the opposing, right? And that's all I ask from everybody, right? If you're going to come out here and come after somebody, have some reasons to back it up, not just say it and just leave it at that, right? And that's what I've been seeing. Like I said, what does like I keep sounding like a broken record because that's all we've done on social media the past 2 fucking days. I get it. 0-3 is fucking ridiculous, bro. It just is. It is. And I can't believe we're 0-3. But going after each other ain't gonna do anything. What is it gonna do? Like I said, oh, cool. That's cool. You called me stupid. Damn. Like, what the fuck is it gonna do? Is it gonna help the players on the field? Fuck no. Is threatening Darren Waller and threatening Derek Carr and DMs gonna do anything? No. The fuck is that gonna do? It ain't gonna do shit. It ain't gonna do shit. It ain't. So at the end of the day, we need to sit here and analyze the shit out of it to the point where we know moving forward, if this team doesn't turn around, then it's a problem, right? We're 3 weeks in. And I know some people hate the optimism and hate the positivity right now because we're 0-3 and there's nothing positive of being the worst team in football right now, technically, because we're the only team 0-3, I believe. But what I am saying is that looking at the film and looking what I'm seeing, the team position groups that were worse than week one are getting better. And sooner or later, and I hope sooner, we turn this shit around because I'm tired of fucking losing. And I know you guys are tired of losing. I'm tired of always saying next year, next year, next year, this and that, and this will change the culture and this. I want to see it on the field. Right? Fuck, fuck Jamarcus Russell, fuck Terrell Pryor, fuck Carson Palmer, fuck Lane Kiffin, fuck Dennis Allen, fuck Gruden, fuck everything in the past in the last 2 decades right now. The time is now. Josh McDaniels is our head coach. As much as some of us don't want him to, I was a Jim Harbaugh guy, but I'm not going to get into that. Derek Carr is the quarterback. Devontae Adams is the receiver. Renfro is the receiver. Right? Right? Chandler Jones is our defensive end. Our outside linebacker, Max Crosby, our defensive end. Antonio Pierce is our linebackers coach. Everybody on this team is a Raider at the end of the day. Right? And at the end of the day, the main goal that everybody has is win. And I'm disappointed on where this team is at right now. But what I am not disappointed in is that they're figuring it out. As much as we're 0-3 and the fact that we're 0-3 and we gave up 3 games already because they're trying to figure it out, it don't matter. We're going forward, right? These past 3 games are horrible. I know we blame Carr, Waller, etc. for individual games, but the one consistent thing in each game is poor coaching. We always make late adjustments when it's too late, and that's exactly reasons. And that's why I said, Circus, it's the little things. Imagine if those little things just turn, right? The little thing just turns, and boom, gone. We're starting to win games. That will heal us. And that's why we're so frustrated. And that's why I'm so frustrated. And why a lot of people are frustrated. And that's why I understand everybody's frustration because we're not winning. Right? I was the ball guy. The ball has been doing good with the Giants. Look at the Giants. New system, right? All 3 losses were self-inflicted. We beat ourselves, fix our personal mistakes and bloopers, and we'll start winning. Exactly. And that's what people aren't realizing, right? Guys, go into depth. Go into those little things and look of the little things we need to start pushing forward. Right? We're beating ourselves. And that's what sucks is that we're beating ourselves. They're not beating us. I promise you, bro. If we would have ran the ball in week one, we would have won. We ran the ball in week two, we would have won. We ran the ball in week three, we would have won. The little things. The little things. Derek Carr threw the ball more than 40 times yesterday. More than 40 times yesterday. Why do we have to let Derek Carr throw it for 40 times? The only other excuse, probably, and there's no excuses. The only other thing is maybe they're letting Carr and the receivers get on the same page, which is ridiculous because we dropped 3 games, right? That's the only possible thing, right? But you got to run the ball in order to be two-dimensional. We know that Carr is really good when both sides, running and passing, is under center, right? Our defense has been getting it done, actually. We're not getting pass rush, but best believe holding people to a certain amount of points is really good more than last year already. Now we just got to tweak those red zones, right? We got to tweak the running. We got to tweak the coaching adjustments. And that will take everything for us to win moving forward. And like I said, exactly. If there was one fist, we'd all be drunk. We are zone three, drunk and sad. 14 games to go fix it now. And I don't even think it's 14 games, Thor, because in order to make the playoffs, you must have at least 10 wins, I believe, right? I believe so. So they got to do it soon. And I think best scenario right now is win next week, win this week. I mean, against the Denver Donkeys, you beat the Chiefs surprisingly because you're gonna be the underdogs on Sunday Night Football, and you go into the bye week 2 and 3, and you have an extra week, which is the bye week, to get everything on the same page and let your starters rest and let your injury guys come back and recover and get the playbook down more on training camp and then come out the gates against teams that, believe it or not, y'all, Jacksonville has been playing good. The Texans are still a competitive team. The Saints are still a competitive team. All these, they're still competitive teams, but at the end of the day, you're going into the middle slate that is easier than your first 5 games and your last 5 games. Because the last 5 games is the Rams, Niners, Chiefs, and all those teams. In the first few games, it's been Tennessee, it's been the Chargers, it's going to be the Chiefs, right? Division rivals, tough. But then you go into the middle and you got teams that you could beat on paper, easily beat, but on the field beat. I'm not gonna say easily beat because it's not an easy task at all. And we always play to them, right? But the best scenario right now is to come out the gates, go 2 and 3 into the bye week, and then in the middle of the season, turn it around after the bye week. And I think for me, I went from somebody that I hate that we had the bye week early, but now I'm kind of glad we have the bye week early because that gives us earlier than later to get shit prepared for another week, right? SC, check IG. I'll check IG right now, brother. Let me see. Oh, I got a lot of fucking what the hell? Okay, okay, hold up. I got a lot of stuff. All right, here. Let me bring in somebody real quick. Um, yeah, there we go. But yeah, back to this. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get everything situated real quick. Yeah. I was never on board with this McDaniels hire. I was told to just give it a chance. I was told to I give it a chance. Now I'm hitting an ejection button. I don't think I'm there yet. Like I said, he's got these next 2 games to turn it around. If he doesn't, I think he's gone, right? I'm watching the Cowgirls play. They suck, right? Yeah, it's 6-6 right now. Shout out to Nutty Raider Nate. Shout out to Jack Kenna. Shout out to Raiders Down Under. Shout out to Dominic Five. My brothers, man. You guys are all my brothers and sisters. Forever Raider fan up in here, man. And even people that support me. At the end of the day, you guys are family. And I respect every single one of your guys' opinions, man. If we lose against the Donkeys, Davis is sending McClownios to his barber a fucked up cut for a fucked up John Chili Bowl. Hey, he's gonna send him to Supercuts, huh? Successfully organizations have one thing in common, that's stability. We are finally experiencing signs of stability, and it's gonna take time. Yeah. And I seen Dominic Five earlier. You said about Malcolm Kuntz. I don't get, that's another thing. But before I bring that out, I'm gonna bring somebody on backstage. He wanted the link, and I'm gonna give it to him because he's a brother of mine. Somebody that I got to chop it up twice already, not only in Adelanto but at the game, and gonna meet him again, most likely for the Rams game. And he's here to make his case about his opinion, man. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, we're all family. At the end of the day, man. And if you disagree, hey, let's disagree, man. Respectfully, right? My brother Dirty Raider, King of Late Nights, is up in the building. What's good,
What
brother?
what's good, SC? Salute to the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a blessed day.
Mhm.
Look, real quick, bro. I don't want to take up too much of your show. I
It's
know
all
what
good,
it is.
brother.
You know what I mean? But look, people got to understand. Everybody's not going to feel the same, right?
Yeah,
Everybody doesn't have the same opinion. Some people been fans longer than others. You know what I mean? Now, for me, I don't get upset anymore because it wasn't a good look on me. I used to take this shit hardcore, bro. Like you say something to me after a loss, bro, I want to fight. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it
facts.
ain't that it's not that serious anymore. We are just fans. We are not players. We are not coaching staff. We don't own any stock in the team. We're just fans, right? So if a fan wants to be optimistic, bro, let him be optimistic. That doesn't mean you have to shit on him. That doesn't mean you have to disrespect him or none of that. You know what I mean? Just let him deal with the way he wants to deal with it, just like people let you deal with the game the way you want to deal with it, right? It's too much divisiveness between the nation. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, it's bad enough that we gotta sit and we gotta watch losing games. And then we gotta come in and get into fucking arguments about what? I feel one way, you feel one way. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? But don't ever disrespect me in the chat. You know what I mean? Come at me the way you would come at me if you was talking to me in my face. And the way you talk to me in the chat is not how you would talk to me in my face. I guarantee it. Right? So be yourself. If I agree with somebody like Frank, then I'm gonna agree with somebody like Frank. Dom, you're allowed to have your own opinion, bro. And I respect it to the fullest because it's your opinion. And it's how you feel. So respect mine. Don't come at me ass backwards. The other dude, I ain't even worth mentioning because he don't get no respect. You know what I mean? The other dude don't get no respect. At least I can give Dom a little bit of respect. He responds, he talks back. Cool, great. I can respect that. I even heard his opinions, and they're valid opinions. But the other dude, you can fuck off, bro. And you know who you are. You can fuck off, bro. That's for real. But life is short, bro. You're not, you're not, you're not going to, you're not going to gain anything in life for a football team you're not a part of. You know what I mean? You're not a part of the team. You support it just like the rest of us. And that's it. If the Raiders got sold to somebody else and changed their name and no longer was the Raiders, then what? And then what? Is your life over after that? No. If you're a real fan, you'll fucking buy the new colors. Fuck it. You'll buy the new colors because that's your team, right? So for me, I'm not 100% upset about the game
Mm-hmm.
this week as I may have been about the last two, because this one actually showed us something. You know what I mean? On a positive side, this team does have a little fight in it. You know what I mean? It's got a little grit in it. You know what I mean? Now we just got to get everything moving on the right page, get everybody in the same arena. You know what I mean? Stop giving us 2 quarters of solid fucking football. We need 4 full solid quarters of football to get that. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey Dom, we can all look. I respect your opinion too, bro, and we can always agree to disagree. I just don't like when people come at me ass backwards with words that you know what I mean. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I mean? It ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And that's why I don't do text messages, bro, because they can be misconstrued. The way you read a text message may not be the way somebody sent it. And that's
That's
why I
bad.
always say, you know what I mean what you say what you
Yep.
mean, but also before you send something, make sure it reads right.
Yeah.
You definitely got to make sure it reads right. I'll never tell anybody they a fake ass fan. You know what I mean? But although I have, but I don't technically mean it. But you understand where I'm coming from. When you come
Mm-hmm.
at me ass backwards, I'm gonna come at you ass backwards, and then
Yep.
it's gonna be an issue, right? So just respect somebody's opinion, let them have it. You know what I mean? And just move on with the rest of the day. Is it possible for a team to make the playoffs? Yes, it is. It's been done before. It's been done 3 times. Teams have started 0-3 and have won have actually made it to the playoffs. All I'm saying is there's 14 more games to play, right? And anything could happen. We don't know. I'll go one game at a time. That's how I look at it. I don't care about the 10th Kansas City game. I don't care about the bye week. I don't care about nothing past that. All I care about is who we face this week. Can we beat them? How are we going to beat them? And let's just get a fucking dub. I really don't want to lose to Denver, bro. I really don't want to lose to Denver. But RD stepped up good yesterday in the second half, bro. They didn't allow any touchdowns. in the second half. They didn't allow any field goals in the second half. I believe the running back only had what 17 yards in the second half
Yeah, it
was
was.
all he had.
They had
You
him
know,
locked. Yep.
yeah, they had him locked down. You know, our star corner Hobbs went down. Amit came in. Amit played well. He didn't give up anything. So like there are some bright sides of the game. You know what I mean? And I just choose to live with the silver lining in things. Because if you allow it to just keep eating at you, eating at you, eating at you, bro, stress kills. Stress kills, bro. You know what I mean? It'll kill you quicker than anything else, quicker than alcohol, quicker than any disease. Stress will kill you quicker than anything else because your body doesn't operate properly. So why stress out on something that, you know what, cool. They play almost half a year, maybe. I'm a die over some shit that only plays 6 months. Nah, bro. Nah. There's other things in life to worry about. But I don't dislike when fans hate on Carr. That's your opinion. I see it sometimes. And I sit here as a Kardashian and be like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? I get it. Right? I get it. But yesterday's game was really on the coaching staff. You know what I mean? And whoever is calling offensive plays, bro, like they're calling the wrong plays. If you go back and look at all the third downs, bro, you'll ask yourself, what the fuck were we running on third down? You know what I mean? What are we running on third down? Why are we running trick plays like this? Is Pop Warner? This ain't Pop Warner. You know what I mean? This ain't Pop Warner. I just had to get in my son's ass today at his football game. They want to do a fucking pitch reverse on a kickoff return. And I'm like, nigga, who called that? Ain't nobody called that. Well, the captain of the team said, no. What did your coach say? Right? What did your coach say? What did your coach tell you to do? Then that's what you do. Right? And I think NFL, this team right here, right now, they're depending on their coach to put them in the right predicament to succeed. And they're not right now. You know what I mean? Especially on third downs. That's our biggest problem right now is our third downs are fucking lackluster, bro. We were 1 for 12 yesterday. 1 for fucking 12. That has nothing to do with the offense as a whole. You know what I mean? And I'm just talking about players, but it has everything to do with the scheme of the coaching. That had everything to do with the coaching, not putting in the right play. We was on a 3rd and 2 where we could have ran the ball and we chose to pass the ball. And bro, you know what I mean? Like the coaching staff has to get it together. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That it starts there. They have to get it together. You know, if DC was so bad, bro, we wouldn't have made that drive to even be in talk worthy of the game. You know what I mean? Like your quarterback had to make those throws. Your wide receivers had to make those catches. Your offensive line had to hold up the block for enough time for it to be for it to happen, right? But then there's times where we're sitting there and we're like, why the fuck did we call that? Especially these trick plays. Why are we calling those? That's something you do when you're winning. It's not something you do when you're losing. You know, because you can take a chance when you're winning, but you shouldn't be taking chances like that when you're losing. Doesn't make any sense. So I respect everybody in the chat, bro. As always, you know what I mean? I will always continue to give respect when respect is given back. But, you know, I also don't
Yeah.
like when people jump in other people's business. If it got nothing to do with you, step to the side and move along. You know what I mean? Because so many people have gotten fucked up being in somebody else's business when they
Yeah.
shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Just
I feel it.
Just leave it at that. Am I big time? No, I ain't big time. Well, I'm less than 1,500 subscribers, bro. That ain't big time. And
Same over here.
if I had 1 million subscribers, bro, I still wouldn't be big time. I don't believe in that shit. I'm a human being just like everybody else. I put on my pants one leg at a time, just like everybody else. I shit just like everybody else. I piss just like everybody else. I look at bad women just like everybody else. Now I don't talk to them because I'm married, but I still see them just like everybody else, right? Just like everybody else. I'm human.
Facts.
I'm human, but I don't know, man.
I
Like
feel it.
really, if you look at yesterday's game, bro, there is an actual bright light. No, we didn't win, but there was something that took place in that game that really showed me that this team, if it comes down to it, they'll do what they need to do and fuck the coach.
Hmm. That's facts, man. Shit, hold on, let me remember stay hydrated, y'all. But yeah, man, no, that's facts, man, and that's something I've been seeing, right? Like I said, man, us going after each other ain't doing nothing, dude. It ain't helping the team get any better, right? At the end of the day, they're the people on the field. At the end of the day, they're gonna do what they need to do to try to take things around, and they're not gonna listen to us, man. And that's just how it is. You know, we come out here, um, us YouTubers, man, and I think Dirty could agree is that we don't think we're higher than anybody in the chat, man, because you guys make us, right? You guys are the reason, like you guys give us a voice in a sense, and that's what I came into here, right? I could have one person watching me. I could have 50 people, 100. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that at least you know you guys make me feel that I have a voice in the nation, a voice that people like respect and want to be like, oh shit, you know, SC said that. I like what he said. I know who SC is, and then when I get on chats, people say salute SC, and I'm like, damn. But that doesn't make me any bigger than anybody else, right?
Look, look,
At the end of
I
the
think
day, this right here is bigger than everybody,
it's
everybody,
supposed
man.
to be about this first and
Yep.
foremost. It's supposed to be about this first and foremost. But I will say this: you are partially right in the sense that some of these content creators do think they're bigger than everybody else. Some do. Not everybody's gonna be humble, down to earth, grounded. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about us in general. You know what I mean? I'm talking about content creators, period, across YouTube, not just Raider Nation, but across YouTube in general. Some of these dudes are for real assholes. You know what I mean? They think they're bigger than life, and you're not. You're really not. But for the most part, the nation content creators are most of them are really like kick back, laid back, bro. At least the ones that I've met. You know what I mean? At least the ones that I've met are actually
Yep.
real cool, down to earth, good people. You know, if I haven't met you, I can't speak on you. I don't know what you are. You know what I mean? But I can say that life is extremely short, right? And if you can't be nailed to a cross and walk on water and raise yourself from the dead, you just normal like me. You just normal just like me.
Facts. Shout out to Turbo Durant. He says, AS experience, be honest with the Raider Nation. You think Raiders could bounce back and make the playoffs from 0-3? I think we could bounce back because what we do know. Actually, I seen this on Twitter, which I'm not sure who's. I think Farrell said it. Shout out to Farrell, NFL. I think he said this. Let me make sure before I get my facts wrong. But he said something I really liked because that's something that I brought up earlier. Let me see. Let me find it real quick. Give me a second. Shout out to Farrell. I don't even follow him, but I need to follow him. Hold up, Farrell. Follow me back on Twitter, bro. I
I
just
don't
followed you.
follow nigga
Anyways,
either, man. No, I'm just playing. Fuck them.
here
Fuck
we
them. Who the
go.
hell is
This is
that
what he
idiot?
said. Uh, this is what he said, right? Call me crazy, but the Raiders' offense is a sleeping giant. It's a matter when, not if. And I feel that with the whole team, right? I feel like this team on paper and everything in between, it's been getting better week in, week out. As much as it's 0-3, and I hate that we gave away 3 games doing it, they are getting better. But what I do know is that we could turn it around. And if there's one team that showed that they could turn it around, it's this team, especially after last year. We've been through hell and back last year. Remember last year, y'all? And this was towards the tail end of the season, and we were all calling white flags and saying, "Oh shit, we fucked up." And then they made the playoffs, right? They sneaked their way, but they still made the playoffs at the end of the day when nobody had them in those last few games. Now this is the beginning of the season, before the bye week. I do think we could bounce back, Turbo. That is my opinion. I think we can. Um, but I'm gonna take it week by week. For me personally, I'm taking it week by week. That's just
You
where
know,
I'm at with it.
I, I heard something today that actually made me sit back and think, like, that's
Mhm,
interesting, right?
mhm.
So Tom Pellicello,
Pelissero?
Pellicello,
Yeah, yep, yep, yep.
yeah, whatever the fuck his name is. I hate when people got fucked up last names, man. Make that shit easy. You know what I mean? Make that shit an easy last name. He said it that one of the things you got to think about is the fact that New England being a Belichick guy. You know what I mean? McDaniels being a Belichick guy. He says if this is a anything of a resemblance of what they do in New England, New England is known for using the first 4 weeks of the regular season like a preseason. They rotate the offensive line. They rotate their pieces. You know what I mean? They don't have a real for real game plan. They're still trying to figure everything out. And then they end up putting their shit together after about the first month of football, right? They usually get their act together. And I found that to be quite interesting because I I was looking at the Arizona game and I had said this. It looked like the second half of the Arizona game, they were just trying shit just to see if it would work, if they could keep it in the book or whatnot, right? And then that in the Tennessee game, they would go into the Tennessee game and they would spread the ball out around looking for its actual official weapons to be able to, actually solidify what it is they need to do for the rest of the season. And that's exactly what they did. You know what I mean? They came out, they used Mac Hollins. You know what I mean? They used Josh Jacobs to an extent. They didn't use him as much as they probably should have. They tried to get Waller involved, even though he couldn't catch the damn ball. You know what I mean? Devontae got a couple. You know what I mean? And in things of that nature. Moreau got the ball a little bit. So for me, it's like let's just let's just relax, bro. Let's just
Mhm.
relax a little bit. Now, I know it's hard to say, especially for fans who have been at this shit for 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus years. You know what I mean? It's hard to really say, hey, just relax. But if you don't see the bright side of yesterday's game, then go back and rewatch the game. We was getting our ass handed to us in the first half by their offense. And our defense literally responded to the call in second half and did their damn thing. And we came
Yeah.
up just short. Just short. Now if Waller
Yeah.
catches three of those catch those three touchdowns, because he dropped
Oh, we
three
would have won.
touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're not having this conversation.
Station. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're not having this conversation. So in essence, we really want to know, Waller, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Can you stop trying to look pretty when you go to catch these balls? Look at two hands.
Mm-hmm.
Two hands. A touchdown is way prettier than an incomplete. No matter how you catch it. No matter how you catch it. You know what I mean? Raiders 805.
Yep.
Hey, look,
That's
I
facts.
feel you, man. 50 plus years, and he's saying just relax, bro.
Yep.
Just relax. You know what I mean? And I get the overwhelming, but don't let this sport take over your life. You know what I mean? That's one of the things you got to learn about. It's not even a sport anymore. It is a form of entertainment. That is what they are classified as. They are not a sport anymore. They are a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Don't let a form of entertainment dictate how you live your life, right? Because you never know who you're talking to ass backwards. You can have a cool, solid ass friend that you may never actually have as a friend because you came at them ass backwards. And anybody and everybody that watch my show know I'll do any and everything for the nation if you need something, right? That's just how I get down. You know what I mean? You want to talk
Yep.
about some shit? Let's talk about it. You need some money raised to get somewhere? Let's do that, right? You want to meet for some lunch and talk? We can do that too. You need a ride home from an event because you're 45 miles away? I'll do that for you as well. You can ask I-6. In Adelanto, I-6 needed a ride home. Now, SC, you live around the corner from me. You know what I mean? You over there, I'm in Diamond Bar, you know where we at, right?
Mm-hmm.
I live
Mm-hmm.
in Moreno Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So you imagine coming down the hill and having to go to Moreno Valley before you come back this way. You know that's 45 miles out the way, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's the type of person I am, bro. That's just the type of person I am. So,
Facts.
just I'm telling you, just relax a little bit. I
Mm-hmm.
believe when you know what I mean, when you kick back, you watch the tape, you'll see some bright sides. You'll see some things that make you smile, and you'll see some things that'll make you angriest too. But just know it take more muscles to make a frown than it do to make a smile.
Facts, man. And on to that point, real quick, man. And like I said, I'm nobody to give out like advice or anything because I'm probably one of the youngest ones out here, right? Or am the one of the youngest ones out here. But I will say this: I learned something in my life that I've noticed, and I've been a little bit of hypocrite with it entering this season, right? Entering this season, I had a prediction, right? I had 12-5. I had a, I had a, a little bit of high hopes, stuff like that, and high expectations, right? Something I learned in life is that um as much as this might sound a little bit down, but it's reality. I seen that if I don't have high expectations, whether it's a friendship, relationship, or anything to do with sports, you won't be disappointed. And I think because all of us had a lot of high expectations, we're a lot disappointed. By all means, understandable because I'm disappointed in this team right now for going 0-3. But I do see us turning it around at the end of the day. But like I said, in general, I feel like a lot of us had high expectations. There were some that didn't have high expectations, and that's why they're more calm. And that's the reason, right? We all have different ways of going about things when it comes to life and when it comes to the sport, right? Um, but what I do know is, like I said, I see a lot of people in the chat right now. Don't worry, I'm not trying to go over you guys' questions. I have been putting your guys' comments on the screen throughout me and Dirty's conversation, so you guys could be presented on the thing. But one of what Chris to answer your question here, um, I think they found the root of the problem, and you know why I say that is because Mark Davis grabbed Josh McDaniels and put him in that meeting room. Right, pause. And not meant it that way. But that showed me that Mark Davis knows who is the head of all this and what is the root, right? Because at the end of the day, let's go week by week, right? The first week we were demanding to run the ball. Derek Carr didn't look too good. You want to run the ball, right? That's coaching decision on the calling plays, right? You go into the second week, same thing. We don't run the ball. Third week, why did we stop running the ball? Why did we go away from what works? That all has to do with coaching. Having this team prepared in week one, that's coaching. What does all these things have in common? And the rotation we've been asking with the defensive line, rotations with Chandler Jones, rotation, that's coaching. Now, what is that root of all those problems there? The coaching. And yesterday, Mark Davis grabbed Josh McDaniels and got the coach, the head coach that oversees everything and does all that and does do the offensive play calls and all that and did it. And that's why I think they found the root of the problem. And like I said, if Josh McDaniels doesn't turn this around in the next 2 weeks, I think there could be a lot of fire under his ass to the point. I mean, there's already fire under his ass, but now it's time to pick it up and get this win, right? I think we will win. But like I said, my expectations are like, let's take it game day, game time, 125 Pacific Standard Time, 4:45, 4:25, and see what goes on from there on those 4 quarters, right?
But
Um, well, like I said,
McDaniels is here for
yeah,
the year, bro.
yeah,
McDaniels is here for the year. They're not gonna fire him. You know what I mean? 5 games in, 6 games in, 10 games in. They're not gonna fire him. He's here for the year. Um, one thing the Raiders aren't gonna do is get themselves in an interim head coach situation again. They're just not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
yeah, yeah,
There's only 2 people on this coaching staff that are qualified to be head coaches. One is Rob Ryan. He's not gonna take the fucking job.
yeah. He
He's
doesn't.
not.
Yep.
He doesn't want that responsibility. The other one is Patrick Graham.
Graham. Yep.
Again, he's not going to take
He
that
ain't gonna
job.
take it. I don't think he's gonna
You know
take
what
it
I
this
mean?
year.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not going to.
I
Hey,
think he'll take
Lo.
it next year
Yeah, well, it depends.
if he
It,
gets like interview somewhere else. He's
yeah,
that type of dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to be one of those styles of situations. You know what I mean? If you're
yeah,
coaching the NFL, of course you want to be a head coach, right? But let's look how long Rob Ryan has been, and if he
yeah,
really wanted to be, you know what I mean, the limelight coach,
yeah.
you think he would have been an assistant on the defense? Nah,
Nope.
nah, he wouldn't have did that. He doesn't want all that responsibility. He doesn't. He's a great defensive minded coach, but he just does not want that responsibility, bro. He comes from the greatest of great defenders to ever, you know what I mean, actually coach the defensive side of the ball, man. He come from that. That's in his blood. You know what I mean? His daddy eh, for me, his daddy the best. You know what I mean? What ain't nothing like like a Ryan defense, bro. You know what I mean? But it can be turned around. It can be turned around. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's been done before by other teams. So that's why I say, look,
definitely.
look, don't. don't lose your shit. Don't make your life harder than it has to be. Don't apply so much stress that you don't need, bro. Um stress about your house, stress about your job, stress about your kids if you got them. You know what I mean? Those are the things, you know what I mean? Stress about your health. But don't stress over something that ain't really gonna put nothing in your pocket unless you gambling. If you
Yeah,
play some money on these games, then hey, by all means, you are entitled to your opinion. You putting
yep,
money down, fuck it. I hear you. But if you're just watching the sport, just like me or SC or whoever else is just watching the sport, now I do put money up, but I still don't get pissed off. I make the right bets. Um, I make the right bets, and I never bet on the Raider game. I never bet
I
on a
feel that.
Raider game. Yeah, I never bet on a Raider game because I always
Yeah,
want to bet with my heart with them, and I can't.
yeah,
It'll cost me money, so I never place my bets on the Raider games ever anymore. I used to, and I don't do it anymore. So now I can just watch my team and get paid off of everybody else. You know what I mean? That's where my money goes. I bet on other
yeah.
people's teams, but I don't bet on
Facts.
us. Um, so just don't kill yourself
Hmm.
because if you die from the stress that the Raiders gave you, ain't no Raider player or personnel gonna show up at your funeral and say, "Well,
Fact.
we sure enough appreciated him giving his life for us, all the stress he gave." It ain't gonna happen, right?
Hmm.
It just ain't gonna happen. So that's why I always say, look, just let people have their opinion, man,
Yeah.
and lay the blame where the blame lies. And right now, it is 100% on our head coach. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I think he's set out to. I think he can be a really good coach. But I think right now, with where he's at, second go round, he's got a lot to prove, and I think he's trying a little too hard to be a little too
Overthinking it.
conservative at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's trying to be a little too conservative at times. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Trying to make a different decision than he made his first time round. But some of them
Hmm.
decisions you made your first time round were great decisions. The thing that people had a problem with was the way you talk to motherfuckers.
Hmm.
That was what people had a problem with, the way you talk to your players. You wasn't a person to person type player, in which he's admitted. You know what I mean? That was one of his biggest downfalls. So this year, I think he's just a little too laxy daisy, and he has to find that common middle ground. And once he gets that middle ground of not being too pushover, but not being too hard, I think it'll work out good for him.
Yep.
I
Yep.
wasn't a big fan of him coming in either. You know what I
Yeah. I
mean?
was
And
a
I
Jim
said it
Harbaugh
was,
guy.
yeah, I never said I didn't think he was a, you know what I mean, I wasn't thrilled about him coming in. But what I did say was, I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna let it play itself out.
Yep.
I'm going to let it play itself out.
That's facts.
You know what I
That's
mean?
facts. And yeah. And what I wanted to say real quick is shout out to everybody that's coming on in. I see more people coming on in. If you guys can, please do me the biggest of favor, man, and hit that like button. It doesn't require any payment or anything. It just helps the algorithm. It helps this video get pushed down in this live in general. So if you guys can hit that like button and also subscribe to Dirty Raider too, man. He loves doing shows in the late nights. So if you're a late night man and trying to find a show, Dirty Raider's your guy right there, man. So
Now I will
um
say, only come and subscribe to my channel if you want to hear a God honest opinion, man. Don't come over there if you want me to blow smoke up your ass, because it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean?
there
If
you
you
go.
want me to blow smoke up
Yep.
your ass, it ain't gonna happen. But if you want to come through and be entertained, and most importantly, if you want to come through and actually shoot your shot, because I believe I'm the one channel that's open for everybody, everybody. You know what I mean? And that's not a shot at anybody, but I think I'm the only channel that's open for everybody. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you letting me slide through, little bro.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I got to get
Of
back
course,
to
brother.
daddy duties, but I will be watching
For sure, man. Hey, thank you for joining me, brother. It was a good conversation.
always.
Peace out, dirty. But yeah, y'all. So I'm taking it. So now I'm gonna, now it's me again, y'all. What's up? If you guys can't hit that like button, like I said, I'm taking it week by week till the team shows me they can win and get it done. If I skipped your comment earlier, y'all, and I didn't address it, please say it again. I'll be sure to address it for these last uh 20 minutes, right? Shows me they could win and get it done. On paper, we have all the talent in the world. Now I want to see it on the field. Exactly, man. And that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Being a Raider fan is like falling in love with the hooker. Fucking hell, GA Patriot. You know it's not good for you, but you can't stop coming back. God damn, GA. Hey, hey, you're funny, man. Have a good night, Jack. Have a good night, brother. Hey, that boy brought up the but that's facts. Beantown Breakdown is a Pats fan on Hammer's channel. He basically said exactly what McDaniels has been so far. He said McDaniels overthinks himself out of games instead of going with what works. There you go. And earn. If you're still in there, I did see your comment earlier. Based on you said, did the Patriots ever go 0-3? That I know in history, I'm not sure. They probably have it before, but I don't think they have. But I will tell you this much: last year, when they got a new quarterback, learning the new system, right, and new players, they went 2-4 in the first 6 games. In the first 6 games, they went 2-4, lost 4, and only won 2 games, and then went on a long streak in the middle, right? I'll tell you that much. And shout out to Raider Gabe. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. And shout out to Twan in there too. Shout out to Queen Raider Red as well. What up, Queen? Good to see you. Hope all is well. But I wanted to bring up this too, and this means a lot to me, right? Shout out to Snoops for this one. Eric, you're one of the first creators to reach out to the nation about mental health. Thanks, low bro. Stay 100. Um, yeah, if you guys remember, I did a couple weeks back, I think a couple months back, actually, I think a month or two back, I did hit up a lot of people as much as I can behind the scenes and text them how you are feeling in general about life and stuff, because I feel like it's a lot of people do fan shows and a lot of people do this and that, but me, I want to be a little different. I want to be beyond YouTube, behind the scenes, right? And that's just the type of person I am, and I'm gonna go back to doing it again, Snoops, and I'll hit up a lot of people behind the scenes again, because that's what matters the most, right? It matters to me that you guys are good and everything is good at home. And I know personal life could take over a lot, and especially with the Raiders losing and making it two better. But at the end of the day, we got each other and we're family at the end of the day, and we all rep this shield right here, and we all want to win. And moving forward, I hope we could win, right? And Twan does too. There's a lot of people that do it, man. My boy Twan hit me up. I think he was one of the first ones to ever hit me up behind the scenes and say, "Hey, bro, how are you doing?" So shout out to Twan, man. Twan's one of the most positive guys I know, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Twan, man. Twan is a real one as it comes, man. So hey, trust me, man. Trust me. And you'll see Twan. You'll see Twan on my channel soon. Hopefully he comes up on our show on the West Side Experience next Saturday. I know you're supposed to be last Saturday, but hopefully he could come in this week, man, and hear some shit he's got to say, man. Get some shit off his chest. But yeah, so shout out to everybody in here, man. Shout out to North Cal Jesse, man, and Top Beats. What's good, my brothers? I hope all is well. Good to see everybody in here, man. Hopefully I didn't miss any. GA Patriot, my brother. Hope all is well. Apocalypse, Darth Raider Prime, Chris was good. Sunrise was good. Egalitarian was good. Pharaoh, Rakers 714 was good. Mr. Took Your Soul, Graham Cam, The Numbers, Snoops, Robert Pena, Bugsy, Earn, Terrence, the list goes on and on. Everybody, North Cal Raider Jesse, Jesse Cardenas, but yeah, Demarcus Webb, Ozzy, Nutty Raider Nate, Raider Ben was good, y'all, man. Hopefully, I'm getting through everywhere. Jack Kenna, Courtney Garrett, Demarcus Webb, like I said, and Raider 7528, Thor, Buddha, Joel E was good, man. If you guys can't hit that like button for me, I'm trying to give a shout out to everybody so far that I missed earlier on based on the conversation. Turbo, Dirty, everybody, Circus Raider, man, all my brothers and sisters, Raiderettes, Raiders, Raider Nation in general. Much love to you guys, man. 3-time as well. And the list goes on. Pyro, Michael, everybody. But yeah, hopefully I gave everybody a shout out there. But back to this again. Let me see. Go back to this. Many folks in Titans gear yesterday commented to me what an amazing fan base we are. There you go, man. That's what it's about. Eric, look into Nami. They need people with voice and not scared or embarrassed to speak of this. I do not know what that is, but I'll look into that. Keep your eye on the quarterback from Tennessee. His last name is Hooker. I know who he is. Yeah, from Tennessee. I do like the running back from Texas as well. The running back of Brehan Robinson. I think he's a dog. Um, But yeah, shout out to Jesse, man, dropping the links, and Terrence, man, and all my mods. Stack them up, run up them likes, and subscribe to the S Experience, man. I'll greatly appreciate it. Who do you want to start on the online next week? I don't want to see Alex Bars nowhere near this fucking line. Alex Bars, Jesus. Do I even have to say anything about Alex Bars, bro? Hey, Alex Bars didn't play too good, bro. I promise you, bro. And Alex Bars, look at what I would see is Colton Miller, Simpson, Andre James, because Andre James will be back. Mm, I didn't like too much of Illuminor either, man. Thayer Munford at right tackle. And I say Cotton. That's my original five that I had coming into the week. I wanted throughout the weeks, but it looks like they're giving more chances to Illuminor. But I don't know. Illuminor just has to clean up some things. So you could see Illuminor start there. But in my opinion, I would want Simpson out there. Believe it or not. Yes, I would like Simpson out there. And of course, Colton Miller there, Munford, Andre James. And then you could do Dylan Parham at guard. I would rather have Dylan Parham at guard than Illuminor. So that's just my opinion, right? Yep, there you go. Parham at guard. That's what I would rather see. Parham. That's a good thing. Nope, no Cotton. Most likely Simpson, Parham, Andre James, Colton Miller, Darren Munford would be my five, right? It gives me Randall Cunningham vibes and Lamar vibes. The kid from Tennessee, that'd be the best name in the Las Vegas Raiders could quarterback, and he ain't a first round too. Um, Parham, yes, Parham, yes. That's the one name I forgot. Yes, I do bring Parham. I think Parham at guard is his best ability. You bring Andre James back, you slide Parham to guard, and you take Illuminor out of this rotation. I think so. Oh, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. I'll look into it, man. I'll look into it. Um, but yeah, Parham at guard. I would have that. I like Parham at guard more than center. But that would be my O line right heading into this week. And I will have a preview for the Donkey game. So that is something I have to look more research their players more and see how their standings are and record is in general, right? But as this game right now, the Cowboys are winning 20-13. Um, I want to see Alec Ingold pass blocking. Alec Ingold, man. Alec Ingold has been a baller over there from Miami, man. Shout out to Alec Ingold, man. Nothing against him. And we got Jacob Johnson, and Jacob Johnson got to step up too, right? Um, McDaniels is garbage, man. It sucks that the way McDaniels is handling things, but I do think a fire is up his ass now after yesterday. Parham has to start at either guard. Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too. I wanted Harbaugh from the beginning. We're on the same page. If you guys go back on my lives, I was screaming Jim Harbaugh before I didn't even know who McDaniels was, to be honest. If I'm being keeping in the stack with you guys, um, but yeah. So, I mean, McDaniels, I did know a little bit of him. I knew he was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, but I just didn't think he was on our radar, in my opinion, right? But like I said in the beginning, hit that like button, and also like I said, man, it's really hard to be positive when you're 0-3 and we're shitting the bed, right? But what I do say, there's a lot of weeks left. And last year we were on a big losing streak, winning games and losing, winning, losing, and then losing, and then everything looked against us. We weren't gonna make the playoffs, and then we made the playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say, right? So we're 0-3, and we still got two more games before the bye week. If we could pull it off these next two games, which I think we can, like I said, the last three games we've beat ourselves, and we have better talent. Um, than what we're showing on the field, in my opinion, right? So hopefully we could get this shit together, man. But like I said, overall the Tennessee game was rough to watch. You know, making the touchdown, Matt Collins balling out, and then not getting the 2 point conversion and not tying the game and playing behind throughout the thing. And 2% still a chance, right? So at the end of the day, um, I know we could turn it around because we got all the talent in the world. But yeah, I feel like we sold a wet dream one for prediction. One game at a time, boys. One game at a time. That's exactly correct, GA Pitch. I'm the same way. I'm taking it week by week, one game at a time. And hopefully we could turn things around that. I know we could, and I'm going to keep screaming that. I know we could because we got more talent than what our field play is presenting, right? Why no blitzing? Here's the thing with that, right? Patrick Graham is being a little bit conservative on different things, right? A little bit conservative on the different things. So overall, I think that I think Patrick Graham is gonna come to his own. Hopefully he could step up and really utilize the depth he's got. Um, and we got a lot of people that could blitz good. Diablo, you know, as much as I don't like him in coverage, he has been good in blitzing. Not only that, Amik has been good at blitzing. That's been probably the best thing. right? Besides that, there's other players like Nate Hobbs, which we might be without Nate Hobbs and Rocky Sin, both with the concussion. Hopefully, we could get them back this week. If not, we got people that could step up. Hopefully, um, but overall, you will see a little bit more blitzing. And Raider Gabe says still getting lit in Nashville. There you go, brother. Right. Good night, Raider Nation family. Love, honor, respect. Much love, Robert Pena. Thank you for joining me, brother. Kuntz needs some snaps, and that's facts to the numbers. Kuntz needs some snaps at the end of the day. I think Kuntz is somebody that really could bring a lot of fresh legs to the table. And I think they should have rotated him and Chandler Jones, not rotated Max Crosby out of there. They've been taking Max Crosby out of the thing a lot, and I hate it. Take Chandler Jones before then you take Max Crosby, because I think that Chandler Jones hasn't been up to par, but hopefully Chandler Jones could, we know he's better than this, but maybe the decline, we're starting to see a decline, right? Diablo is a safety, not a linebacker, and that's exactly right, Top Beats. That's why he's not looking good, and I don't know why they're putting him a middle linebacker. I'd rather have Darian Butler at that middle linebacker role, right? So, you know, so hopefully, right? Let me see. We're 4 away from 60 likes, man. If you haven't hit that like button, right? Eric, that's the part of the rotation we're asking for on the D line. And hopefully we see it against the Broncos, right? Russell Wilson's another mobile quarterback, right? He hasn't played the best this season, but they are have a better record than us. Um, and they are 2-1, I believe. Them and the Chiefs are tied for first right now, which is crazy, right? And the Chargers fall to 1-2. Um, Yep. So overall, that's what I feel with this going forward. Diablo, man, was open on every play, covers worse than Abel, and that's what I said. I don't think Diablo's good at coverage, and I think you got to give people like Darian Butler. I don't think it could be worse with Darian Butler get that snap right. Eric, take Dirty's advice. It was good, good show. Keep it up. Have a good night. Have a good night, Raiders 805. And we need a good DT. You're right, Terrence, and hopefully they could bring something and realize that, right? I rather have Coons to Chandler Jones. Chandler is a bust, and I feel you, Jose, on that, man. Chandler hasn't been looking. I've been one of those guys that I think that Chandler Jones hasn't been up to par, and I've been seeing it on the film, and I get it. His job is a certain way, but the only thing he's been containing was containing money, right? So yeah. So overall, like I said, hopefully everybody has a blessed night. Like I said, I will be live again. I think either Wednesday or Thursday to talk about the donkey game. Most likely Thursday or Wednesday, depending on if some news breaks out. Right. The next 2 days. But I am gonna go back and rewatch the film again to make sure I got everything down that I needed to get down. And overall, I appreciate everybody that tuned in today, man. If you guys can hit that like button on the way out, and once again, y'all, I didn't post it, but thank you guys for 1.3. We hit 1.3 today. So I'm blessed for that, man. Thank you to you guys, man. You guys are the real MVPs of this channel. But we're officially at 1.3, so I appreciate you guys for that. And we're gonna keep rising up, right? The grind is real. The road to 2K. I want to hit 2K by the end of the season, and it looks like a really high possibility. And hopefully we could get it, right? Um, some people say 5K. I don't know, man. Hopefully, but we'll see what happens, right? I'm taking it week by week. But yeah, thank you to you guys, man. If you guys can go push out my content too, if you enjoyed it and you want to show other people. And yeah, man. So we should beat the donkeys. That's facts, and we just gotta break it down right how it is. Hopefully this team could turn it around. We're better than what we've been presenting, and moving forward, let's do this, man. Josh McDaniels, get your shit together. Derek Carr, come on, man. We know you're better than that, and everybody else is get on the same page and somebody step up as a leader. So, guys, blessings to you guys, man. Remember, tough time never lasts, but tough people do. And you guys are some tough people. Much love to every single one of you guys, man. And hopefully, if you guys need anything, hit me up on IG or Twitter. And North Carolina Jesse and Terrence have been dropping the links, man. Jesse dropped my Twitter. I seen earlier. If you guys can, if you have a Twitter, I'm starting to get my Twitter popping. I'm gonna start promoting my Twitter. Right there, SCEXP21, and my IG is right here. Best way to get to me, and my Discord. So, guys. You already know what it is. We need some fucking luck. Check on you the next one, little bro. Good shit, little homie. I appreciate that. Blessings, nation. I appreciate that, leader nation. Stacked in lunchables. Get to 2K. Have a good one, fam. Great show. Go show, bro. Great show, Eric. I appreciate the SC rocks. That means a lot to me, brothers. You guys rock, man. So, guys, remember to always tough time never lasts, but tough people doing. You guys are also tough people. Hit that like button on the way out. Stack them up. No, Jesse have. Hey, shout out to all my mods, but shout out to Jesse, man. Terrence putting in work, and shout out to all the people behind the scenes as well. So, guys, you guys already know. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. Push out the content, and guys, until next time, y'all. Remember to always keep it positive, especially when no one's looking, y'all. Blessings, God. Have a good night, y'all. and have a good day tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow is a new day, and if you have a bad day today, tomorrow is gonna be a good day, and I promise you that, y'all. So, yep, there's the Twitter, y'all. I appreciate that, Jesse. You already know, man. Go show it. Hey, you already know. One love, one nation. Just win, baby. Commitment to excellence. Let's turn this shit around. Let's do it, man. Guys, until next time, peace out. Have a good one.